Awesome. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. My name is Samantha Dodd, and I am the current steering chair for TARO. I am joined this morning by my vice chair, Maristella, and with our education and outreach subcommittee chair, James Williamson, and our representative from down in Austin, Aaron Choate, who is recording this so that we can post it later. Just for some logistics, if you have questions at any point during today's webinar, if you will put them into the chat box, Maristella is going to keep a log of those, and we will do all questions at the end of the presentation today. So just an overview of what we're going to cover, just kind of a welcome to all of our new members. I know we've got a lot of new staff to TARO repositories, so welcome to TARO and thanks for joining us. We'll give you a quick overview of our TARO history and what has happened in the past year. We'll give you some good resources for the work you're going to be doing with TARO. I'm going to give you a demo of the admin side, which includes logging in, how you're going to upload finding aids, how you delete finding aids or download them, and what the compliance checker is going to be looking for. Then James is going to give you a demo of our front-facing side and the search features that TARO has on there. We'll cover some basic contact information, who you reach out to for what kind of issue you might encounter, along with some of our new upcoming training that we have on the calendar, both in person and online, and then what's next for TARO. And then at the end, we're going to wrap up with whatever questions you guys might have. So again, if you have anything that comes up, drop those in the chats. We're also going to be dropping all the links that we're talking about today in that chat box as well, so you can click on those. So if you are brand new to TARO, or if you just want to blast from the past, up until last year, this was the legacy website. So it was very vintage, very dated. It did not offer a lot of search features or functions, and the way we had to upload files was a bit clunky. So in 2015, the TARO Steering Committee wrote an NEH planning grant, and then 2016, 2018, we got an implementation grant to overhaul this website, both the front end and the back end. And so after all of the fun and joy that 2020 brought, we did manage to successfully launch our brand new TARO website, which you're seeing here last fall. Not only did we incorporate a new branding and design scheme and search features, how we work with the website and upload finding aids is different. Previously, you would have to run files through an FTP server, so you'd have to wait for the server to run updates, so it wasn't instant. Whereas now, when we demo this, when you upload a finding aid, it's instantly available. If you delete something, it's instantly gone. So you're able to make changes and add to your repository holdings much quicker and more efficiently. So I'll turn this over to James, who's going to walk you through some of these wonderful resources that TARO has designed for you.
Thank you, Samantha. Hi, everyone. James Williamson. I'm chair of the Outreach and Education Committee. So over the past year, we've developed a number of resources, and obviously many of the committees have been working on new documentation. So making sure that that new documentation is available to you to go along with other training materials. So right now, everything that has been created in the past year is located on the TARO Resources Library, which is on the TARO Today website, which you can find at the link here. That includes a new best practices guides. Well, I believe there's actually another version coming up soon with some changes. So once we have that, that will be on this this resource library as well. But there's new best practices guides with updated examples and templates to make sure that you're in compliance with the new site standards. There is our guide to remediation, which is a really helpful resource, kind of going over the basic elements of EAD elements and common issues that we discovered as far as kind of the remediation process of taking our legacy finding aids and making them compliant for TARO 2.0. So if you haven't begun that process, this is a really good guide to help get you started, or you may have already done that and you have a new staff member who's maybe coming across some issues and you're not particularly understanding why. Those issues may kind of connect back to the issues that we found when we were remediating all the files. So as we kind of progressed through this process, there was a couple of versions out there. So the recent version, which you can find in the resources library, is from August. So if you have anything earlier than August, please make sure to get an updated version of that guide, because there was some, each version has had some significant changes, added elements, added common issues, and I think as we kind of move along in the TARO 2.0 era, if you will, kind of we're hoping to collect more of these issues and kind of find ways to maybe get them out to users a little bit better than just this remediation guide, and there may be other opportunities. So we're always collecting information as well if you're coming across problems that you're not seeing in the guide to remediation. We also have a YouTube channel, which all the training sessions that we had this past year, plus the TARO brown bags, are available to view. So this session will be available on our YouTube site, as well as our our upcoming webinars. So I would definitely get on there, and we've got our introduction, kind of kicking off the TARO project. There's a session on TARO remediation where we get more into the nitty-gritty details and common things that we've seen, and then I'll talk a little bit about the upcoming webinars, but those will be up on the YouTube channel as well. So take a look at those. We've removed all the videos that were created for the previous TARO version. So those are no longer available, and we're currently in the process of updating the TARO Today site to remove outdated information related to the old site, so that everything you will see will be just related to TARO 2.0. Some additional resources. Obviously, if you're working with Archive Space and you're not a member, if you're not joining the discussion of the Archive Space Users Working Group, you can reach out to Rebecca Romanchuk to be a part of that. And then if hands-on assistance, there's some, this last year we did have some funding for a position to help with remediating finding aids for institutions that were unable to provide resources to remediate their finding aids. I believe there's going to be an opportunity for that again, possibly. So if you are really in need of some hands-on assistance, you can reach out to Samantha or Robert and kind of begin that process. So as we figure out the funding for a potential position, you can be incorporated into that workflow.
Okay, cool. Well, we will cover the upcoming training we've got a little bit later, but for right now, I'm going to kind of walk you through how you get set up on the new TARO website. All right, so for the administrative side, if you are a new user, or if you are working for an institution and you bring a new staff member on, or you want a student to be able to do some work on your behalf, you will need to send an email to either me or Maristella. Basically, the chair and vice chair of the TARO steering committee are the ones who will create the user accounts. So you'll just need to email me their name and email address so that I can get them set up as new users. So once I have that information, that new person is going to receive a login and account creation email. it'll have a link to set up their account. Now this link does expire. So if you maybe got your account email link last year and never set it up, it's going to expired by this point. So you'll need to email me so that I can reset your account and have a new email link sent to you. But once you get this email link, you will click on that and create your password for your account. And now the new TARO website does have a security feature, the two-factor authentication. You can do this one of two ways. The faster and more recommended option is to use this Duo or two-factor authentication app. If you are at UT, or I know here at SMU, we use the Duo mobile app to log into all of our other systems for our two-factor, but there are a number of other free apps you can download either for iPhone or Android, whatever you have. But once you have that app installed, you will scan the QR code that you get when you click on that link to set it up. And you will enter the code that that app gives you and click OK. And you will be prompted to log in to the app or the website for the first time. So once you get to that page, you'll enter your username, your passcode. The device will automatically populate from your phone, so you don't have to worry about filling this part out. And then you will enter, it's usually like a 6-digit code from my Duo app. You type that in, and then you'll hit login. And you only have to do this the first time when you're creating the account. So once you've already set up your account and you've gotten in the first time, to get to the admin side of TARO, you're going to go to txarchives.org, and then you will be presented with the regular login screen here. You will enter your username, your password, you will put in the token from the app or whatever the digit code is there, and click login, and you're good to go. Now, if you don't have a smartphone or don't want to do the token, you can do the two-factor login with email address. Basically, what you will do is enter your username, password, and leave the token blank. And then on that next screen, you will get the drop-down box and you will select the email option. And what will happen is you will get an email from TARO with the 6-digit token code, and you will enter that there. And then you will click login. So if you forget your password or need to reset your password, if you are on txarchives.org/admin, there is the forgotten username or password button there. Click on that and to your email address there, and it'll help you reset your password. Again, you'll enter your new password, confirm, and then change your password. All right, so now we will go to TARO. So let's say you have successfully logged into texasarchives.org/admin. This is what you will see. You will have a box here that has recent actions. So you will see kind of your most recent history of what you've uploaded, what you've edited, or what you have deleted on the TARO website. This is where you're going to do most of your work. So for basic functions, finding aids is where all of your finding aids will be located. If you would like to add a new finding aid, the easiest method is to click on this little green plus sign, add. And when you do that, you'll be taken to this page where you can choose the XML file that you're going to add. So if I were going to add this file, repository, you should only see your repository listed there. If for some reason it is the wrong repository and I have set up your account incorrectly, please email the steering chair to make sure that you are assigned to the correct institution. But you will select your repository and then click save, and then it's going to validate your email or validate your XML file and then make sure it's compliant with TARO. Let's go back here. So if you were to click on finding aids, you will see all of your other finding aids that have been uploaded to TARO. If you would like to change or edit a finding aid, you can search for the name or the number up in this box here, or if you happen to see it right here, you can select that file. And then you are brought to this page. If you would like to preview the XML file, you can see currently This is the file 355 XML. If I click on that, it will show me a preview version of the XML. Now let's say I have edited this file and I want to update this one. I will go to choose file. I will select the new file. It still says SMU, and then I will click save. Now this is where the compliance checker is going to come in. Here you will see red issues right here. These are identified as errors that will prevent your file from being uploaded to the website. So these are things you will need to go in and correct in your XML file and then reselect the file to upload it. So again, for this file, I have an incorrect attribute on a unit date. I need to make sure I put this code in the attribute, or it'll tell you you're missing an attribute like extent or something like this. This is where that guide to remediation and migration will be super helpful, because it will walk you through most of the common issues that people have with their files and how you go about fixing those. But let's say I've gone in and I fixed my errors. I will go back. Select the file, click save. Now what I'm presented with are called warnings. These are just preferred elements. The red errors are required elements that the TARO website needs you to address. These warnings are just preferred elements that will not prevent your file from being uploaded to TARO. So if I don't have a sponsor, or there's something, I don't have related materials for this collection, if you're okay with these, you can overwrite them. You do have to go select the file one more time, just as a security measure. 355. And then you will collect this checkbox here to override the warnings, and then click save. And I will apologize. This is my computer being super slow this morning. Most people, this is an instant, congrats, you've saved, and you will get the green light. So hopefully this doesn't take too much longer. Wait for it. There we go. Again, that was my computer, not TARO. I just have a really slow computer this morning. But once it has successfully passed validation, you've overridden any warnings that there might be, you will get the green arrow. Finding aid has been successfully uploaded to TARO, and you should be able to see it right there. Now let's say you're back on home and you want to add multiple finding aids. You can do that from the add feature. You can choose file. You can select as many as you want to upload. You'll click open. It'll tell you 9 files. Make sure you have that selected as your repository. Click save, and then you will just get the list of errors or warnings for all of them. You can overwrite the warnings, fix the error messages, reselect your however many batch files you are going to upload, and then click save, and all of them will appear. So there is a way to do multiple files as you're uploading or deleting files. So speaking of that, if you want to delete a file from TARO, you can go to finding aids, search for the finding aid that you want to delete, or you can come down here. Let's say I want to delete this one. You will go to this action bar here, select the drop-down box, delete finding aid, and click go. Then you will get a confirmation. Are you sure you really want to delete that file? And I say, no, take me back. And it'll bring you back to this screen. Let's say I want to delete multiple files. You can select multiple files and say delete or delete these selected files. You can also click this box next to title if you want to select all of your files that you have there. So now I've selected all of SMU's 384 finding aids. I could delete them. Or you also have the option, if you want to download your XML files, you can just download the files there, click go. and then you will get your little download file. There it is, zip file, and you will have a copy of all of your XML files there. So other features here on the back end, again, you can add new files, you can go view your XML files, delete or download them. Up here at the top, if you need to change your password, that option is there. Let's say you get a new smartphone, the latest iPhone 55 is out, and you need to change your Duo app. This is where you can go up here to change your two-factor authentication. If you need any of the documentation for setting up an account or for how you manage your finding aids, this documentation box right here, if you click, will give you walkthroughs for how you manage your finding aids, how you do the login and two-factor authentication. So you can download these PDF files and save them for your repository if you get new staff members coming in, or you just need a reminder on how you delete a finding aid or upload batch files. I believe that is all I had for the admin side. I will stop sharing and turn this over to James, who's going to walk you through the front end.
I think I had the whole desktop shared. Let me try that again. There we go. Okay, everybody. With the redesign, obviously TARO has a new look. We also have a new address. You can find the TARO site at txarchives.org. So make sure you bookmark that new address. The searching features have been a little bit more streamlined, and some new additions have been made, as well as the presentation of the finding aid itself. So I figure I just kind of go over the kind of key points with you. So here's the homepage, along with kind of repository spotlight and recently added finding aids. We can see the one that Samantha was recently uploaded. You have a kind of a search box available at the top of the page. This is not an advanced search, but it does allow you to search and limit by repositories and limit by the availability of digital objects. If you're wanting to browse finding aids, we have our browse by section, which allows you to browse by creator. You can also browse by geographic area. So any geographic areas noted in subject terms would allow your finding aid to show up in this section. This is not to be confused with the map, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But this is the geographic area related finding aids itself. Subject terms, and we'll talk. There will be another webinar discussing subject terms and the impact on the TARO site. But here you can browse by subject term, and then of course repository. We have included a map of repositories that are a member of TARO here. So this is just the location for repositories. This does not correspond to the geographic areas for finding aids. So just be aware of that differentiation. You can also find the repository list in the About section if you so choose. For advanced searching, we would go to search right here. As compared to the previous Tarot site, the advanced searching has been kind of we worked more on the kind of core elements of searching. So repository, title, subject, and geographic area. But you are able to limit your searches based on repositories, language, and then the start date and end date indicated in the dates of the finding aid. So let's just take a look at a finding aid. I'll go to SMU since I know those finding aids. And here we can see the results of our finding aids. You can simply click on each finding aid will have the logo that was provided at the top of the finding aid, and then everything's broken down into their individual sections, which are all collapsible. If you so choose. You can also navigate through the finding aid over on the left-hand side of the menu through the table of contents. So if you need to go to collection summary, obviously you can see if you've closed your tabs, the table of contents, well, it will just kind of navigate to where it is, but it'll still be closed. So it's not going to open it up for you. So just be aware of if you're using the table of contents and why is it not showing me the sections? Probably because you've had the tab, you have it collapsed. We go down here to subject terms, inventory. This lists out obviously the inventory provided. If you need a more kind of searchable or navigatable inventory list, you can go to view inventory, and it'll break it down a little bit easier for you. You can move through the sections a lot quicker. You, of course, are able to print the finding aid and export the raw XML file as well. Now, say you wanted to view digital objects and how are they rendered in the new site, we'll just probably get a lot of results. We're in Texas. Went back to the wrong site. I have to check on that one. So depending where you provided your digital material, let's see. And where you've linked into the finding aid, you'll be able to access the digital object through the link itself, whether it's in the inventory title or in a different section of your finding aid. And that is the kind of the front-facing part of TARO 2.0. We're hoping it's a lot more searchable friendly for researchers. We definitely in the future, we're going to work on maybe kind of an informational guide to kind of understanding the search function within TARO to be provided for external users and internal users as well, who may not be using the front end as much. But that's kind of where we are right now with the TARO public side.
Awesome. Just a couple more things I want to point out to you guys. If you land on any finding aid, this was something we kept from the old site that we liked. If that patron wants to access those materials, they will click contact this repository about the finding aid. It's going to generate an email, which I have my email closed, but if my email were open right now, it would put in the header of the email the link to this finding aid. So it's helpful to you to know which finding aid that they're contacting you about. And again, the links that you guys provided when we set up the repository page. So if they wanted, it will take you directly to your institutional homepage. So they have information about contacting you guys. Of course, my computer is done. Give it a second. There we go. So again, every finding aid will have the access materials thing, and whoever is your designated contact person, if that changes, make sure you email the TARO steering chair or vice chair so we can update the repository contact, because this is the individual that was the designee when we set up the repository or institutions page. So they will receive all the emails for when people are accessing that information there. Again, if we go to the about page and you're scrolling through all of the new or all of the members here, we just added the Botanical Research Institute of Texas Library. So this will take you to the institutions page on TARO. And so this is where we got the description of that institution, their location, and that'll take you to the map feature, how you contact, how you access materials, and their homepage website. And then you can also search from here, finding aids within this repository. Again, they're brand new, so they don't have any finding aids yet, but we are so excited to continue adding new TARO members to the website. Awesome. So these are the current members of the TARO steering committee here. It is also on our TARO wiki page, which you can bookmark as well. That is where we have all of the statistics. Let me go back out here. If you are on our TARO wiki page, it's kind of the admin home for TARO. So all of our committee meeting minutes, agenda, steering, again, best practices and things are all going to be listed here on the front page, along with members of the committee. But this is where we are putting all of the analytics. Something else that changed when we adopted the new website was that we implemented Google Analytics. So we're able to gather a lot more data from people using our TARO website. So if your repository needs that data for reports that you have to generate, you can find the legacy site statistics right here. And then you can also find monthly statistics here. And I will generally send an email when we post those statistics to the listserv so that you know those are available. But if you go here, you can see each of them have the Excel files for a month for the statistics so that you can save those for your institution and manipulate the data however you need to. So that is where the statistics and analytics will live for the new TARO website. So important context to keep in mind. Again, if you need help creating a new account for a new member or staff person or student worker, if your link has expired and you need to reset an account, or you just have a general TARO question, you can email the chair and vice chair of steering, which this year will be myself or Maristella. If you are a Summerly grant participant, your workflow is a little bit different because we upload the finding aids on your behalf. So if you're a Summerly repository and need assistance, you will contact Robert Weaver, who is the current chair of the Summerly subcommittee. If you encounter a glitch on the TARO website or something's not working, report any issues with the website to our website and technology subcommittee, currently chaired by Ada Negraru. She will be compiling a list of those issues that we can convey to the developers and the team down in Austin who hosts the website. So if something goes down, it's not working, feel free to report that to us so that we can make sure it gets added to the list or that it's being worked on. If you have any questions about resources or where to go to learn more, where's the library, where's the best practice guide, you can also reach out to James or Jimmy for questions about those resources. So looking ahead on a calendar, we have 2 upcoming webinars. Again, if you are an archive space repository, or if you're an institution that's using another program, Archivera, A2M, something else, the way that these programs export the XML files, they need a little bit more tweaking to get into the TARO website. So I would encourage you to join us 10 a.m. Central on March 29th to hear from other archive space repositories who are going to share their workflows, workarounds, and tips for working with archive space files and TARO 2.0. And then, as James mentioned, we'll go into more depth on the browse features and the subject terms for TARO 2.0 on Tuesday, April 19th. So if you want to learn how to enhance your finding aids or how to make those work best for your repository, please join us in April for that webinar. And thanks to THRAB and the National Archives, we were able to provide some more in-person training. We have 3 upcoming in-person workshops scheduled for this year, which will walk you through XML files, uploading again those to TARO. It's more hands-on, and you will walk away being able, or with some templates and files that you can use to work with TARO 2.0. First up is going to be San Marcos on April 1st. Then there's going to be a training here in Dallas on April 27th. And then at SSA in Houston, we will have another training as part of the pre-conference workshops. The workshops are free to participate, but we do have limited registrations. So Maricel is going to drop the link to register for those webinars in the chat. So if you are brand new to encoding finding aids by hand, or brand new to Texas archives or anything like that, or you're just rusty and want some more in-person help getting started with TARO, I'd encourage you to sign up for one of these workshops.
Samantha, I would also add that the registration for the in-person, they are getting close to the cap for number of attendees. So if you're on the fence about whether you want to attend or not, or I would do that sooner rather than later, because it's definitely filling up. So, which is great. I'm glad people want to come learn about art encoding in TARO.
So we're excited to see each other in person again.
Yeah, that too.
So what is coming up for TARO? As you noticed, even when we demoed the site, every once in a while we still hit a tiny glitch. Thanks to us trying to launch the website in 2020, everyone kind of shut down for a while. We didn't quite get to everything that we wanted to do with the website, but thanks to THRAB, the NRHPRC, we were able to get an additional grant from the Americans Rescue Plan Act, so ARPA. We have basically another year to work on the website. So the development team in Austin is taking all of the survey feedback we got last year at the end of usability testing. The website web tech team is compiling a list of outstanding issues that we need to address. So over the course of this year, you're probably going to see it either go offline briefly or come back up, or something might look a little different or operate a little different. Just know that that's because we're still making changes and improvements to the website, so that by the end of this year, TARO 2.0 will be even better than before. And this is why it's also so important, so that if you do see or encounter an issue with the website, to please report that to WebTech so that we can get that added to the list of things to work on this year. So it was a wonderful Christmas present that we got in January to learn that we were going to keep working on TARO this year and make it even better. That being said, we could always use some more help. We have a few subcommittees that are short a few people who have either moved away or are no longer with repositories. So if you have any interest in being on education and outreach, you like designing webinars or doing videos or creating guides, please email me and we will get you set up on that committee. If you have interest in usability testing or in the website's design and tech troubleshooting, we can set you up on the web tech committee. If you like cataloging and authorized terms and subject headings, we have a newly formed authorized terms subcommittee that's going to kind of oversee the management of the browse terms on the TARO website. So again, we could use all the help. If you have any interest in helping on any of these subcommittees or want to learn more about the subcommittee work, just shoot me an email and I will be happy to work with you on that. As James mentioned, we are also currently working on a new best practice guide and some updated guides to TARO, and when those are available, we will post them on the TARO Today resource library and we will email the listserv that those are now available. I believe that is all I have, so we can turn it over to questions that you guys might have from the chat.
One question that's come in so far is about the login setup, and the question was whether that's per person or per institution. So
it's per person, so a repository can have as many users as you want to work and upload finding aids. So that's going to be up to your institution's decision. I know some institutions give each of their student workers an account and the students are able to upload and edit and delete finding aids. Other repositories have one designated person who uploads and deletes finding aids for that entire repository, but that is up to each institution how you want to do it, but you can have as many user accounts for a repository as you need. You just need to email me if you want to create a new user account and who am I creating it for. And you can also email me if somebody's no longer on your staff and you want to remove that user account. The chair and vice chair of steering can take care of that. Were there any other questions about TARO that we can answer for you guys? Well, if there are no further questions, we'll wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Again, if you have other colleagues, we will have this recording posted to our YouTube channel shortly so you can review it. We hope that you love the website and you working with this year. We look forward to all of the updates that we're going to put through, hopefully by the end of this year. So stay tuned for big things. Thank you guys so much. We hope to see you at the next webinar and you guys have a wonderful spring. Bye, everybody.